All right. Wow. Wow. That's Klaus, you have fucking hair. Ah! Are you sure we're in frame?
I don't know.
You're going to use this for the intro, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, great.
I have hair.
All right,
Yeah,
Klaus has hair.
No Shave November. Go support my fucking thing. Cancer is bad. Yeah.
Klaus!
John! Hi, John.
The new consoles are upon us. The next generation of gaming is upon us. And this has always been an exciting time for me. I fucking love new console launches. I just fucking love them. I jump on them right away. And I'm one of those stupid ass consumers where I'm like, hey, ain't gonna be no new games for 6 months? I don't care. I'm gonna spend $500 on some stupid bullshit. That's me. Anyway, the Xbox Series X and Series S are out. I mean, fucking branding, Microsoft. Look into it, you fucks. But anyway, those are out, and the PlayStation 5 is out. See, simple. PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see how you do it? Easy. Anyway, they're out, and they're something.
They're there. They exist.
Yeah, they exist.
You can maybe get them if you're lucky, I guess.
Yeah, if you're quick on your fucking mouse finger, you can maybe get one, and you can play last generation's games on this generation's consoles.
They're so much prettier, though. Maybe we're too old to see.
Maybe my eyes. Look at these fucking glasses, like Coke bottles. I can't tell. I can't tell the fucking difference. For now, let's start with the Xbox Series X.
Xbox X.
So the Xbox Series X and S came out. The S is the cheaper little brother. The X is the big fat beefy brick. Now you've seen probably if you're a gamer, if you're following this shit, you've probably seen like size comparisons of these consoles to old consoles, and the fucking Series X looks like a gigantic refrigerator. So goes the meme. Series X actually isn't that big.
It's really not. It was a lot smaller than I expected.
It's heavy though. It weighs like as much as my Toyota Camry that's sitting up in the garage. Xbox has the Xbox entity, Microsoft, as a group of fucking people who design shit, have decided that we're not gonna deal with generations and consoles and things like that anymore. Xbox is now just an ecosystem, right? So what we're looking at now is not so much this generation thing where you're gonna plug this thing in and you're gonna be like, pow! Look at all the fucking fancy new graphics and the fancy new games and the new interface and the new controller and all this shit. No, what you're getting is basically a really souped up, nice and fast Xbox One.
Welcome to PC gaming, console gamers.
Yeah, it's kind of what it is, at least at the moment. There's no killer app out there. Halo Infinite or whatever the fuck it was called, that's been delayed until next fucking Christmas or who knows when. So what you're playing on the Xbox Series X and S, what you're playing is last generation's games that look slightly nicer and run slightly faster and have a nicer frame rate. It's cool if you're into that. You want to spend $500 for that?
If you didn't get an Xbox One XS, whatever, if you didn't get the last generation of Xbox,
yeah,
and you're interested in all the Xbox games that are on Game Pass, get the Series X, because it's like that, but it just loads shit way faster.
Yeah.
And you'll have access to newer shit as well. But that's all it is just faster, better access to Game Pass. It's nothing else beside that, which is fine. I didn't get an Xbox One anything, because I didn't give a shit. But I saw all the games that are on Game Pass, and frankly, I'm still not gonna get it. I don't fucking care. But someone else might.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Right.
If you give a shit.
Well, shit. It's this fucking same goddamn thing, just with an extra button and some grips on the back.
This one still feels a little lighter and more plasticky.
A little bit.
The new Series X one, this is a beefy motherfucker. This thing it feels solid. It feels like it's made of goddamn metal or something. Like it feels like this thing is, I could kill somebody with it. Like I can murder somebody with it. It just wants the life straight from their eyes.
I mean, that'd be pretty great. You've got the quick resume feature, which you can, switch between games on the fly, and it takes like 5 seconds to jump into the next game and then jump back into your first game and be like, holy shit, I'm right back where I started, or right back where I left off, and I don't have to worry about, loading times and sitting there and checking my watch and making a fucking sandwich. That's pretty cool. But as far as exclusive games and that next generational vibe,
there's nothing. We've covered this.
Not
There's
quite
nothing
there yet.
else to say. It's really that underwhelming. Xbox Series X, more like Xbox Season 5. I wish they'd do something new. Moving on!
I'm going to talk a little probably more positively about the PlayStation 5, but you have to keep in mind this is all relative, right? So the PlayStation 5, when I powered it on the other day, I was like, wow, this actually kind of feels like a new console generation kind of thing. And that's simply because they put a nice new shiny coat of paint on the interface. The controller does a lot of fancy new things. It doesn't feel, this console does not feel like the PlayStation 4, as the Xbox Series X feels like the Xbox One. Like, it's not like, boom, we just took this interface, put it on a faster console. So while some of the generational leaps might feel like superficial or cosmetic, it still feels like a generational leap. And much like the Xbox Series X, the load times are insanely fast. The games have that shiny fucking, ray tracing and fucking, ray tracing, teraflops, all that bullshit that doesn't mean a goddamn thing to me. But it does feel like a new console, and Sony has been, like, as far as their marketing speak goes, they've been a little more upfront about, hey, we believe in generations, right? And I guess it kind of feels that way. So let's talk about the DualSense controller, which is Sony's first attempt at making a new controller in about 20 years. So, I guess, gotta give them a little credit for that, right?
They made a new one with the last one because that was the first touchpad. Now they just made it better.
Yeah.
They made it better. They got the special rumble. They got the better, sleeker, whatever. They got the haptic.
What he said. But so you're gonna load up your PlayStation 5, and while you're waiting for games to download or install or whatever, I highly recommend just starting up Astro's Playroom, Astro's Playroom, and checking it out, because Astro's Playroom is essentially a tech demo for what this magical little controller can do with its haptics, vibration, and all that bullshit. When you're walking through the sand, it feels like walking through the sand. When you're walking on hard surfaces, it's like ting, 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 and you feel that. When you're walking in the rain, it feels like the pitter-patter of rain on your controller. It feels next gen. It feels like nothing I've really ever experienced.
I will say this, it's the kind of subtle feedback that's been missing from, like, motion control.
Yeah.
Motion control is neat when it's like, look, I'm wielding a sword, but it's like, I'm not. I'm holding a little piece of plastic. It doesn't have the weight. It doesn't resist nothing. It doesn't feel like a sword. It's not going to feel like you're the exact thing, but it's a subtle influence that puts you in that mindset. And that's the thing with gaming. VR, motion control isn't immersive because it's heavy, it's clunky, and it doesn't give the correct feedback. It's just weird. That is subtle.
Yeah.
Subtle is immersive. Immersive is the shit you don't notice, but it affects you.
All right, I got these two $500 consoles that just came out. Which one should I get? My answer is neither. Like, you don't fucking need this shit at the
Well,
moment.
get a PlayStation if you want Demon's Souls. I played it for a little bit. Now I need a PlayStation 5.
Demon's Souls is pretty kick-ass.
It's pretty fucking good. God damn it, exclusive.
But, if you're like, I really, which one do I need? The answer is neither. You don't fucking need either of these things. At least not for the next 6 months to a year. Probably a fucking year at the least, right? This is like one of the only console generations that I can think of where neither of them launched with like this must-have, fucking genre-defining, console-defining generational defining game. This isn't fucking Super Mario 64 or anything like that, you know? This is like a couple really beefy consoles that are nice, and they add a lot of quality of life improvements like super quick load times and fucking super quick swapping between games and all that stuff. But also very small storage, and you're gonna run out of fucking hard drive space in about 5 games. But neither of them are just screaming out to me, I must have this. That said, if you're going for one of them, if you want that fancy new next generation like neato kind of factor, I guess the PS5 kind of slightly edges out the Xbox Series X at this point.
Here's my takeaway for you.
Well, that's the important part.
Do you love Souls-likes? Do you need Souls-likes? Do you just have to have Demon Souls? Get the PS5. Are you a big Xbox person? Or have you maybe just been saving up, you didn't get any of the last generation consoles, and you want something that's going to give you a huge library, not necessarily of super next-gen-y stuff, but just a huge library with their Game Pass? Get the Xbox.
Yeah.
There's so many fucking games on that Game Pass, you will never get through them all. It's the Netflix of games. Do you own a Switch or a PC? Just play those. Those are great. I played these. I'm a Souls-like lover. I love this shit. Am I gonna rush out and get a PS5 as soon as I can? No! No! The COVID got me.
Don't die. Don't die. In the meantime, while he dies, you can also get one of these. These little Super Mario Game & Watch. It's $50. It's kind of neat.
Buy one of those, you fucking losers.
You can play a couple games on it. It's fucking great. So, MoJoSho. Anyway, check us out, MoJoMenace.com, where we have forums.
Below.
MoJoMenace.com/forums. On there, you got our Discord link to our Discord chat. On the social media, find us at Mojo Menace.
Do it.
He's gonna die.
Do it for me. Is that funny?
No,
No.
it's too much.
Shit.